Have you ever wanted to have a high performance sound someplace in your house, but you weren't readily able to run speaker wire to that location? Well, you're not alone. And up until now, the wireless speaker solutions that have been available have been anything but high performance. But today, I'm going to show you a way to create a high performance zone of audio without having to run speaker wire all the way back to your home audio system. JBL has a great new product called the JBL WEM1. It's a wireless expansion module, which basically turns any loudspeaker that you like into a wireless zone of high performance sound. And it does that using a wireless transmitter and a wireless amplifier. So today I'm going to show you how easy this is to set up, and I am going to create a wireless second zone of audio using these JBL loudspeakers. Now the two parts to the WEM1 system is a wireless transmitter and a wireless amplifier. The transmitter plugs into your home theater or a home audio system, and it broadcasts the sound wirelessly to the amplifier using 2.4 gigahertz technology. So you have great sound, clean performance. Now the amplifier you can put up to 60 feet away. It gives you the freedom now to have sound where you want it in your house. So I'm going to show you just how easy this is to do. We're going to start with how you connect up the wireless transmitter. Our first step in creating a second zone of wireless sound is to connect the wireless transmitter. After plugging the wireless transmitter into electrical power, we need to connect it to the Zone 2 preamp outputs on the back of a multi-zone receiver. We will be connecting these to the preamp inputs on the back of the transmitter, and we're just going to use a basic RCA cable. Once we've connected the transmitter to the multi-zone outputs on the receiver, we will then need to choose one of the 4 ID codes on the back of the transmitter. What this ID code does is set the channel that the transmitter communicates to the amplifier on. If there is something that causes some interference, we have 4 different channels to choose from to ensure proper communication. Once we've completed the first steps, then we are ready to connect up the wireless amplifier. So if you've just seen here, I'm going to now connect up the wireless transmitter. First thing again is we hook the wireless transmitter into electrical power. Plug that in there. So power running to the transmitter. And my next step again is to connect the preamp inputs to my Zone 2 outputs on the back of my multi-zone Harman Kardon receiver. So I can now have a wireless second zone. And I'm just going to use a basic RCA cable. Red and red and white. There. And now I'm going to connect it up to my Zone 2 outputs. And there we have it. Now the next thing that I need to do is make sure that I set the ID code that we talked about. So I'm going to set the ID code here on 1. And in this case, my second zone, I'd like to listen to my iPod. So I'm going to take the time to connect up my Harman Kardon iPod dock right here to the back of the multi-zone receiver. I have my iPod docked, and now I should be able to have sound in my second zone. With those steps taken, let's take a look at how we connect up the wireless amplifier. Connecting the wireless amplifier module on the JBL WEM1 couldn't be more simple or straightforward. Once you've determined where you will be placing your loudspeakers, you need to find a place for the wireless amplifier. Now the amplifier can be as close or nearly as far away from the loudspeakers as you need it to be. The only key is that you need to make sure that wherever you end up placing the amplifier, power is really available to plug it in. Once plugged in, connect the amplifier to your set of speakers using some high quality speaker wire, being sure that you have the left speaker matched up with the amplifier's left speaker output and the right speaker matched up with the amplifier's right speaker output. This will ensure that you have proper stereo sound. Now next, we want to engage the EQ switch, so the speakers will match up properly with the amplifier. Again, this is important to deliver the best sound quality possible. Now the EQ switch is designed to optimize the performance of the WEM1 with not only many JBL loudspeakers, but nearly any loudspeaker you choose to use. So when deciding which EQ setting to choose, use the following list as a reference. If the loudspeaker that you will be using with the WEM1 is not listed, simply choose EQ position 1, which does not employ any EQ at all. Once you have chosen the proper EQ setting based on the loudspeakers you'll be using, you need to set the ID code to match the ID code you initially chose to use on the wireless transmitter. If properly communicating, the light on the front of the wireless amplifier and the light on the front of the wireless transmitter should light up a solid green, and now we should start to hear sound. Alright, I've determined where I'm going to have my wireless second zone of audio. I have the wireless amplifier from the JBL WEM1 Wireless Expansion Module System. I have my JBL loudspeakers. The first step I'm going to do is connect the wireless amplifier into electrical power. I've plugged the adapter into wall power, and now I'm going to plug the adapter into the back of the wireless amplifier. It should light up red, and this is indicating that we have power now going to the amp. The next step is to actually run the speaker wires from the speakers just to the amp. The wireless amplifier now gives us the ability to be a long distance away from the receiver and not have to run speaker wires all the way back. So let's attach the speaker wires into the back of the amplifier here. And we should be good to go. On one side. And I'll attach the other side here. Alright, we have the speaker wires attached into the amplifier now. Now the next step is that we need to match the ID code on the wireless amplifier with the ID code that we set on the transmitter. And when we set the wireless transmitter up, we set the ID code at 1. So I'm going to make sure that I have the ID code set on 1 here on the wireless amplifier. And you notice that the light turned green, meaning that the two are now in communication. Now the last step that we need to do is set the EQ switch. Because I'm using JBL Control Now speakers, there's actually an EQ setting set specifically on the amplifier for these, so they provide the best possible performance. And that is EQ switch number 6. So let me make sure I have that set to number 6, and there we have it. We have now easily set up our wireless second zone of audio. And there you have it. Here's my wireless second zone of high performance sound, playing Dave Matthews wirelessly from where my amplifier and iPod are located all the way across the room. And you'll notice there's no speaker wires. With the 2.4 gigahertz technology, the connection is clean and clear, and the sound quality is something that you could truly call high performance. So there you have it. The JBL WEM1 is the perfect solution for high performance sound when running speaker wires isn't an option. You've seen how easy it is to connect, how easy it is to integrate into an existing system. It's the perfect solution for wireless rear speakers. It's the perfect solution for that pair of speakers out on a porch or balcony. Even if your receiver is a little bit older and maybe doesn't have preamp outputs, the system is still flexible enough to connect via speaker level inputs. If you have an iPod or MP3 player, there's an auxiliary input on the amplifier. So you can plug your iPod or MP3 player directly to the amplifier and be able to listen to your music in that wireless second zone of sound. When it boils down to it, the JBL WE1 is the perfect solution. And now you don't have to worry about running speaker wires.